Hi everyone, I am Sai Tejaswy, a product manager on Windows Connected Experiences, and I'm here with Avinash, who engineers a lot about what I'm about to show you today. Today, we are going to show you how Connected Experience let your app become part of Windows, meaning it'll bring better discovery, more engagement, and more installs, and seamless continuity across devices. If you have been following connected experiences at Build, you have seen us go from announcing 3 APIs to shipping them with real partners and real traction. Since then, People API with just one surface has been driving over 10 million sessions monthly through ShareSheet People suggestions alone. Now that's 10 million times app engagement opportunities. When we look at Resume, with only 3 months into the release of Resume, the click-through of Resume is one of the top performers on the taskbar itself. That's nearly 1 in every 4 users who sees a taskbar nudge of Resume are interacting with it. Together, connected experiences, share, people, Resume now reach over 50 million devices in a month. In the last year alone, these experiences have driven over 1 billion sessions back to the partner applications. That's the scale of Windows working for your apps. With this, we know the model works. Windows surfaces will drive discovery, engagement, and installs back to your application. In this video, we will cover two concepts in detail. One, resume in depth, and two more surfaces for people experiences. Windows Resume. It gives your app continuity across devices and can drive net new installs. If the user is doing something on your app on their mobile, like listening to a podcast or reading an article or writing a message, and they sit down at their PC to continue their app activity on their PC is what Windows Resume is. Let me show you how it works. Here's a Pixel 8 running Spotify. The user is listening to music on a morning commute. She sits down at a PC with Spotify integrating with Continuity SDK. When the device is in the proximity of Windows, Spotify publishes a resume context. You see that? Spotify just appeared on user's taskbar with that phone badge. That badge just showed up because Spotify published a resume context. Windows received it and surfaced this nudge to the user. And with one click, the same album and the same timestamp now where it appears on the user's device. Now here's where it gets really interesting for you as a developer. What if user doesn't have Spotify on their PC? Resume badge will still appear for them. With one click here, it will drive user to install the app. User's phone activity just drove a PC app to install. Neither they browsed nor they looked at the store to download the app. Windows handled the entire funnel from awareness to install to engagement, all within a single click and ready to resume from the next time. And resume isn't just for media. Let me show you one other partner use case. A user is testing a friend on WhatsApp for shopping items. In the mid conversation, they just sent a bunch of links to be looked at. When they sit down at their PC, WhatsApp published a resume context. Windows received it and the badge shows up. The same conversation gets picked up right where they left off on their desktop app now. Music continuity, chat continuity, or document continuity. You define what resume means for your app and Windows routes it. So how does this all work under the hood? There are two ways to integrate Windows Resume. Let me hand it to Avinash to talk you through both of them.
Thanks, Sai. As we discussed, Resume supports two integration paths. One is Continuity SDK, and the other one is Windows push notifications. The right choice depends on your platform, connectivity model, and the engagement scenario. Let's quickly walk through how each integration path works. Let's explore the first integration path, Continuity SDK. Here's the end-to-end flow, how it works. The app publishes a resumable activity through the Continuity SDK on Android. Windows receives it through the LTW-CDH signaling, and it surfaces on taskbar in Windows as a resume entry point. When the user clicks resume, Windows activates the desktop app using the app-provided deep link, restoring the experience exactly where the user left off. Let's see how you can achieve it with your app. Step 1. Add a dependency to your Gradle file. Continuity SDK is now published to Maven and GitHub. Step 2. Declare in your manifest that your app is a resume activity provider. That value 4 maps to resume activity. Step 3. Initialize the SDK and register your event handlers. You get 2 responses back. On context request received, which means it indicates that connection is established, the app can then send resume app context to LTW. On sync service disconnected is your signal to stop. You get this if the device is disconnected or the sync channel goes down. And then you call app context manager.initialize. From this point onwards, your app is wired into the continuity platform. Step 4. Create an app context object which represents an resume intent. Context ID here uniquely identifies this activity instance. Type resume activity. This line is the important one. This tells Windows that the payload should participate in cross-device resume experiences. Finally, send app context. This publishes the activity into the continuity platform. Step 5. Handle callbacks from the platform. On context response success confirms the resume activity is successfully accepted by LTW. On context response error tells you something failed, maybe a connectivity dropped or the sync service became unavailable. The important pattern here is resiliency. Apps should stop publishing while disconnected and retry once the connection is restored. Let's explore the second path, WNS, Windows Notification Service. This doesn't require link to Windows or the Continuity SDK. Your app's cloud backend communicates directly to the Windows using the WNS channel through push notifications. It surfaces on taskbar as a resume entry point. When the user clicks on resume, Windows activates the desktop app, restoring the experience exactly where the user left off. The trade-off? No link to Windows needed, works for any platform like Android or iOS, but the app must be installed on Windows. There's no store installation flow on this path. Let's see how you can achieve this within your app. The first step, register your channel URI. Your PC requests for a WNS channel URI and sends it to the server. The channel URI becomes the address for communicating with Windows from your app. Build the resume request and send the WNS notification. Here's a sample code how you can do that. Some mandatory headers while sending a request. The decision matrix. Pick the path that fits your scenario. Deep mobile to PC integration with installation flow. Continuity SDK is your route. Broad reach, cloud-driven, app already on Windows. WNS should be your choice. Both paths give you the same result, a taskbar badge, a deep link, and a user experience that picks up right where they left off. Resume is a limited access feature. You'll need to request access through Microsoft, and here are the links for that. Back to you, Sai.
All right, that was about continuity of app activity. Now let's talk about people in Windows. App contacts can become a first-class citizens across Windows. They have a potential to get showed on widgets and even the search box. All right, let's say you are an application like WhatsApp and you have integrated with the People API. You've donated your users' people to Windows to become first-class citizens in the user system. Here's what happens. This is the People widget in the widgets port. See those contacts? Every one of them that came from WhatsApp. WhatsApp donated these contacts using the People API, and Windows is showing them here. Now notice the order. Some take first position and some later. That's not random. That's because WhatsApp also donated interaction signals. This helps in ranking. You as an app feed the signals and Windows handles the math. Now watch what happens when I click on this contact. One click and WhatsApp opened directly that particular conversation. That happened because WhatsApp registered a communication URI for that contact. Whenever the user clicked that particular chat, Windows fired that URI and launched the chat. And here's the thing. WhatsApp didn't write a single line of widget UI code here. The People API handled everything. Now, let me show you a similar integration in a different surface for a different user intent. The user is looking for someone in the Windows system search. And when your app has donated the contacts with the right signals, Windows can match that for the user. There is a contact user is looking for right alongside apps, files, and even web results as a people result. You can see WhatsApp attribution right there. And look, the action buttons, message, call, and video call. WhatsApp donated contacts once and it shows up here in search with actions ready to go. Now, how do you actually build this? Let me hand it over to Avinash again to walk you through the code.
Thank you, Sai. Let me show you what this looks like in a code. I'm going to walk you through full integration from zero to contacts showing up in widgets, search, and share. Start by creating a user data account. Third-party apps are required to create a user data account with com.microsoft.people contract. That's your opt-in to that people platform. This is a one-time setup per app. Next, storing contacts. Create a contact list and set other app read access to system only. That last line is very important. It means only Windows system services like Widget, Search, Share can read these contacts. No other app on the device can see them. Your user's contact data stays controlled. Next, create a contact object. The remote ID here is your app's unique identifier for that contact. And then save it. Windows now knows about this contact. These contacts become eligible as share suggestions, widgets, and search experiences. This is where it gets interesting. So far, app has only donated a contact. Now, we enrich that contact with capabilities, deep links, and interaction semantics. Annotations are how you tell Windows what action your app supports for this contact. The first way of enriching a contact is through interactions. Teaching Windows what action your app supports for that contact. This is where communication URI annotations come into picture. You declare the operation your app supports for a contact like message, audio call, video call. For each operation, you register a corresponding protocol in your app manifest. Windows surfaces enable interaction with contacts directly through app's communication capabilities using these protocols. The next layer of enriching a contact is relevance, helping Windows understand which contacts matter to the user right now. Donating signals. Signals are lightweight interaction events with your app contacts. Your app donates signals without any PII, and Windows uses these signals to rank and surface the most relevant contacts across widgets, search, and share. Back to you, Sai.
Thank you for the quick walkthrough, Avinash. The key idea of Connected Experiences API isn't just one-time integration. It's a value compounding. The real moat for the apps as part of Connected Experiences platform is the more your app donates about users, people, and activities, it will drive improved engagement back to your application, and which will also result in more number of downloads and users building a trust to your desktop applications. And all throughout this, users' data stays in control. The contacts are scoped to system surfaces only, no app-to-app sharing, and everything is removed on uninstall of the app. Users can toggle it to control the visibility of these contacts anytime within their settings. All of this is built into the platform by design. Here's how you get started. For people, integrate with the cross-device people API, donate your contacts, add communication URIs, and donate activity signals so your contacts rank higher across widget, search, and share. For resume, integrate with either Continuity SDK or WNS, and sometimes even both, to make your app's activity work across Android as well as iOS apps with Windows. Start with learn.microsoft.com links that are presented here for each of these areas. Connected Experiences is how your app not just be an app on Windows, but actually become a part of Windows. You write the integration once and Windows gives you surfaces, ranking, engagement, and installs. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the sessions.